WUSA 9 Weather Impact is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Good Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Joe Spears. Still looking at a pretty quiet setup as we start off this new week. Temperatures today going to be pretty nice, actually a touch below average for this time of year. Well, we have a lot of sunshine. We ended off the weekend with some stronger storms here into the area. Most of that has moved out, so we should be looking at a lot of sunshine, a lot of very quiet and calm weather for the most part as we go throughout the next couple of hours. Now, to start off today, we are still getting cooler, so numbers at the lowest really just drop into the mid to upper 60s outside. Again, looking at a little bit of wind here. That's kind of the only thing to worry about as we head throughout the beginning of today, but next couple of hours are going to be pretty nice. Temperatures drop down into the mid to upper 60s, work back into the upper 70s, low 80s again by the end of today. A little bit of cloud cover here and there, but again, a lot of our skies are going to be pretty quiet and pretty calm, not tracking any wet weather, thankfully, throughout most of today. Temperatures for this time of year should be in the mid 80s, so we're going to be a couple degrees shy, but only some isolated spots trying to get into the 80s today. 81 in D.C., also down in Fredericksburg, 80 over in Easton. For the most part, a lot of us want to stay in the mid to upper 70s by this afternoon. 75 over in Leesburg, 77 in Front Royal, 78 up the road in Baltimore. But again, our windiest part of the day is going to be here for this morning. So if you're going outside, notice things are a little gustier. The trees starting to shake around a little bit more. It's mostly because our gusts are peaking up towards about 20 miles per hour and above to start off the day, and then gradually getting calmer as the rest of the day goes by. So winds and wind gusts in general start to calm down a little bit more towards the end of today. Now, it's not going to stay quiet forever. We are looking at chances of rain eventually starting to work back in. Tuesday is a very, very tiny chance, and it's overnight. Wednesday is an even lighter chance, and that's mostly towards the tail end of the day. Next system that we're actually tracking is going to be a front that's going to work by later in the day on Thursday. Still looking at some scattered showers left over for Friday, but the good news is it all clears out in time for the weekend. So Saturday and Sunday should be looking back towards nice and dry weather, especially with DC Pride or Capital Pride going on later into this weekend. As far as how things look going into the middle of this week, especially with that Tuesday chance, it's really isolated and it's mostly out towards the west. So areas here in DC, especially out towards the Chesapeake, likely not even looking at rain until the following day. So by Wednesday, we'll start to see some more isolated showers working into the area. Again, still a couple days out, so we're still working on the timing of this model, still starting to pick it up a little bit more, especially with a chance of seeing some storms back in the area heading later into this week. Now, at the same time, temperatures are going to start to build up, so we're still in the low 80s today and tomorrow, upper 80s heading into Wednesday. We do look at a touch back into the 90s again by Thursday, but especially with this being a cold front working through, it's a pretty fast turnaround for our temperatures, so already back in the low 80s again on Friday. So it is a very small, tiny little warm up. It's not this insane stretch of 90s that we just saw a couple of days ago. But at the same time, we are looking at humidity starting to build up. So especially for Thursday, it's going to be our hottest day of the week. It's going to be our muggiest day of the week as well, so you're going to feel that weather outside. But again, everything gets better just in time for the weekend. Friday's kind of a step along with that process, but by Saturday, air is going to be pretty dry here in the area. So as far as how that looks on your 7-day forecast, temperature's not bad in the meantime. It's cooler than where we should be, but again, it's still pretty nice. It's some relief from some of the intense heat we've had. Low 80s today and tomorrow. More sunshine does start to work back in as we head into Tuesday, and then we're just looking out for 1 or 2 very light showers in the day on Wednesday. Better chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms is going to be towards the tail end of this week. We're watching Thursday for a chance of a couple of these storms to get a little bit stronger. It's also our only day in the 90s. We go back to the 80s again on Friday with a scattered chance for some wet weather, and then yet again a pretty nice forecast here in time for that upcoming weekend. Saturday, we got temperatures in the low 80s, decent amount of sunshine out there, just a couple more clouds and 1 degree warmer in time for Sunday.